Namaste and good morning. So,
Morning.
we start with the session. Hope you are well. This is your last session which you will be seeing in your course for this month. For the 200 hours, we will be just revising today some basic things what have we learned up till now. And we'll make some questions to you as a surprise questions, you can say, where you can answer these questions. And let's see, we will revise like this simultaneously. Let's start with the Om, this session. Keeping your eyes closed, back and spine straight. Chant Om one time. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Open your eyes. Thank you so much. Yes, Magda. We have one student. You can on your camera as it's your last day if you wish, if you are ready. So we can revise. Let me see.
Do you want me to open the camera, yeah?
Yep. Keep it open. Today we are not learning anything on the whiteboard. Nothing I'm gonna write.
Wow.
So let's see and some revision things. So up till now what we have studied, can we revise? I will just ask some basic questions and you can answer if you have notes. You can go through that as well. And so from the starting, we will see. As we know, we have defined anatomy and the physiology as a study of the parts of the body, as well as the physiology means the functions, to study the functions of that or the process of the functions of that parts of our body. So in this anatomy and physiology, we started with our cells. And what is the cell? A solid element in our body, but a building block. What are the types of tissues? Can you tell me what we have studied, the types of tissues?
You know, I haven't been revising YouTube lessons because I only joined on the 10th day. So
Okay,
if you can,
no problem.
please, just from the 10th day. Sorry, because I'm planning to join in October again.
Okay, so the tissues is what we define as a group of cells which are combined together. Then apart from that, we have also studied the organs. Organs in our body means a group of tissues combined together makes an organ. Then we have studied about the digestive system, where we need to absorb the nutrients from the food because our cells in our body requires nutrients from the food to survive. If no nutrients are present in our cell will die, and if the cells will die, our body will die. Similarly, in this digestive system, like in respiratory system, also we have studied about the breath. Here in the respiratory system, similarly like the nutrients, we require oxygen to survive, and the cells also need oxygen to survive. Lack of oxygen will cause anemia in our body, in our blood cells. Now, about the digestive system, we'll revise it quickly. I hope you were not there, I think, when we were learning digestive system.
I have started my note from skeletal system.
Okay. So first, we would like to revise in short about the digestive system process, like where the food will travel from the mouth, then it will go to the throat region, it will travel more down in our stomach where we have acid, hydrochloric acid. From here, it will travel down to the intestines, but alongside of our stomach, what else we do find? We do find the liver at the right side, where it contains the bile, which burns or which helps to break down fats in our body. The pancreas are being present in our body under the stomach, allows or makes up the digestive enzymes to break down of the food more in our intestines. So in our intestines, the smaller intestine, the nutrients are being absorbed, and in the large intestine, the water is being absorbed, and the waste material from the food will be passed and will be excreted out through the anus. This process which we have also seen. Alongside, we have seen certain asanas and the therapy, some effective yoga postures which we can do for the digestive system. So we have demonstrated you some asanas which can be helpful for the constipation, diarrhea as well. On this kind, we have chosen with some common sets of asanas. And I have demonstrated that as well. Apart from that, we have started with the respiratory. In this respiratory system, which is a two-way process, in this multi-way process where we breathe in and out from the nose, not like one-way process like digestive system. So we need to also breathe out here from the mouth or the nose. In this respiratory system, about the food pipe and the windpipe, we have discussed where the windpipe in the respiratory system is located where in the front, and the food pipe is located at the back, and the epiglottis will be sending the food to the food pipe in the digestive system. In the respiratory system, if a particle of the food will travel in the windpipe, then we cough. So we have this air flow of air and the composition of the gases in the respiratory system, which will flow down in our lungs into our alveoli, that are the air sacs, many millions of air sacs inside our lungs, which contract this air sac and expand. We do feel like our lungs get expanded and contracted, but the alveoli inside the lungs, the air sacs, will help our lungs to expand, and when we breathe out, it will contract the air sacs in millions. Apart from that, the rate of respiration we have seen. So rate of respiration per minute. That means it depends upon our age. Depends upon our age criteria. For the children, the rate of respiration per minute is very much more. That means more than 35 to 40. Then it goes on decreasing as the age will increase. So the lifespan will be depend upon our rate of respiration. The next, to talk about the muscles of respiration, we have the diaphragm, the muscles, as well as we have the intercostal muscles that are being located under the ribs and above the ribs. So these muscles help to engage these ribs when we breathe. Speaking about the next system now, the skeletal system, I hope you joined here in this skeletal system, where we have studied the number of bones, 206, where bone made up of the minerals and the calcium, alongside 70% of calcium included. These 206 number of bones divided into how many types? Two types of skeletal system. What are those types? Can you tell me?
It's axial and the other one is appendicular.
The axial skeletal system contains how many number of bones?
Axial contains 80. And appendicular 126.
Yes. And the axial skeletal system, the most of the bones are unmovable bones. That means which we cannot move. And in the appendicular skeletal system, most of the bones are movable bones. So in the axial skeletal system, in our head region, which one is the only movable bone?
The lower jaw.
Yep. The lower jaw is the only movable bone, mandible bone here. And how many vertebrae are being present in our vertebral column?
24.
Okay,
Yes,
24,
24. And sternum. So these are ribs, sorry.
20,
5.
25, or 26. So we have 26
26. Oh, yes.
vertebrae, where the first 7 vertebrae, starting from the lower part of the head, are known as
Cervical.
cervical. Then the next 12 vertebrae are known as,
Thoracic.
the next 5 vertebrae are known as,
Lumbar.
yes, and the next group of 5 vertebrae are known as
Sacrum. 1.
sacrum, which is
Sacrum.
one single sacrum, yes,
And the other one, also one is coccyx. Coccyx.
coccyx, that means our tailbone. Coccyx is our tailbone, yep, where we do find all the major chakras in our body on this spine. So depends if we talk about these vertebrae and the spine. So the shape of the spine is also much important. Like we haven't studied that about the different shapes of the spine. So where we have the problem of kyphosis, lordosis, or scoliosis. So what is this actually? We have time, we will study it today. Okay, let me bring a marker. Okay. So to study about the spine here, the 3 important terms to remember. We have the kyphosis, lordosis problem, a small therapy, and scoliosis.
Mhm.
Here in the kyphosis, we have the hunched back. Hunched back means kyphosis. So here, the shape of the spine is likewise
Mhm.
more outside, the hunched back. In the lordosis, the shape of the spine is inside, more inside, so more towards here. The shape is not neutral. And in the scoliosis, the shape of the spine is S form. So this is what the scoliosis. We need to keep our back and spine in the neutral position. So this is what our neutral position of the spine. A small curve for the neutral position, if you will see over here. The rest are the kyphosis problem, where we have hunched back. We have the lordosis problem, where we have the lower back tucked in, and scoliosis problem, where we have many different postures. For each one of them, we'll need to demonstrate later in the October If we go through it, we'll let you know. Today we will just revise this thing, what we have learned up till now, and we'll give some guidance as well for you. This in short, I would like to tell you we need to keep our back and spine in a neutral position. As well, these are the shapes of the spine depending upon the bad habits or not properly sitting positions or not properly standing position of the human, or due to this improper alignment of a person, the shape of the spine can change. So while sleeping, while walking, or while working, a table and a chair, it cannot sit properly. We have also spondylitis. Spondylitis is a different disease or disorder for the cervical spondylitis. This is for the upper back and the lower back. Each one of have the separate asana therapy, which can allow our spine to keep in neutral position. Followed by this, we have also seen the bone joints, where we have 3 types of bone joints as well. What are those bone joints? Fibrous,
cartilaginous, yeah, and synovial.
About the synovial bone joint, what is the first subtype?
These are movable type of bone joints, yeah?
Yes, but what is the first synovial first type? Ball and?
Ball and socket.
What is the example of it?
For example, in the hips or in the shoulder.
Yeah, so in hip and in our shoulder, we find ball and socket. The next, what about the hinge?
The hinge is, for example, in the elbow or in the knee.
What does it mean, hinge? We bend.
Is bent, yeah.
So in one direction movement, only in one direction, like our door hinge. Only one movement, one axis. So we have pivot. Pivot means twisting movement joint. We have condylite, gliding, saddle, all these joints we have been seeing also in the synovial bone joint sometimes. Then we have studied some terms. About that terms, I would like to say, what is the flexion movement?
Is decreasing the angle between the two bones.
And extension movement?
Is increasing.
The angle between the two bones or the parts of the body, yes. And about abduction movement?
Abduction is to move only the part of the body forward toward the middle of your body. Or like
towards or away. Abduct.
Abduction movement. Abduction. Okay, I'm sorry. So abduction away from the middle. So away from the middle.
And adduction movement is towards the
middle.
Yep. Now we have circumduction is the movement of the digits, then rotation. Also, the next is we can say about what is protraction movement.
Protraction is
shoulder.
Yes, shoulder movement. Scapula.
In the front or back, protraction.
Forward.
Yeah. Forward. And retraction to move the shoulder backward.
Backwards.
Yep. Apart from that, we have seen also the different terms: protraction, retraction, dorsiflexion, plantaflexion. So about our wrist and ankles, the palmar flexion. So these were many terms we have seen about the pelvic, the posterior tilt, and the anterior tilt as well. So followed by these terms, we will now proceed further towards the next system, that is the muscular system. In this muscular system, what we have studied about the different types of muscle cells and tissues, and what are those different cells and tissues?
We have studied about skeletal muscles, cardiac muscle, and visceral muscles.
Examples of the visceral muscles.
For example, in the stomach, in the
Okay.
inside wall of the stomach, yeah?
Yeah, correct. The internal organs are made up of these visceral muscles. And about the skeletal muscles, the rest of the muscles which are been in our body, all are the skeletal muscles, cardiac muscle, only one.
Yeah.
About the skeletal muscle group, we will see like what is the muscle which allows our neck to move.
Is this
Sternocleidomastoid muscle which will allow our neck to move. Yes, Magda, you moving your neck like this.
Yes, it's a sternocleidomastoid, yeah?
Yep. How about this neck movement? Do you know what does it mean?
Hmm.
This means yes in India.
Ah.
In India, people, if you visit India sometime in future, people here, if you will ask something, people here will answer you yes like this. We don't do yes like this. Most of the people in India do like. Yeah. So, and what are the muscles included in our upper part of our chest? The major muscle in our chest is known as
upper part of our chest.
pectoralis major muscle. Pectoralis muscle.
Pectoralis, yeah. Location.
Then the muscle which is on our arm in the front bicep. The muscles, yep, and at the back of our arm, triceps.
Triceps, yes. Biceps and triceps, yeah.
Yep. And the muscles which are located on the center of our back, the huge muscle. Trapezius.
Quadriceps?
On our back, trapezius muscle.
Trapezius, okay.
And at the side of our back, below the pectoralis muscle, at the side of our back, if we place our hands, like when we fold the arms, and the side when we keep the palm, that muscle, latissimus dorsi muscles at the side of our back. Then we have on the core, the rectus abdomen. Apart from that, the quadriceps, which you told, is on the top of our thigh. And at the back of our thigh, which muscle?
Hamstring.
Hamstrings made up of 3 muscles. Quadriceps made up of 4 muscles. Quads. Quad means 4. Then at the back of our lower leg, we have gastrocnemius muscle. And in the front, we have the tibialis anterior muscle. So about the musculoskeletal system, if we talk about the names of the bones, can you tell me the strongest bone in our body where it is present in our lower leg? That bone is known as tibia.
Okay.
So which carries the weight of our body more than 60 to 70% alone on our tibia.
Tibia,
When we stand. Whereas The only floating bone in our whole body. What is the name of that bone?
Hyoid.
Where it is located?
Above the thyroid.
Above our thyroid cartilage, yes, above the windpipe as well. Right, correct. Now, where or which is the strongest bone in our arm or in our forearm?
I don't know the name, but it's the one pointing from the elbow to
Okay.
our thumb.
Okay, right. So the concept is clear. That is our radius bone.
Our radius. Okay. Yes.
Perfect. And about the pectoral girdle. So what is pectoral girdle? The bones which connect our arms to the axial skeleton. So which are those bones which connect our arm to the axial skeleton?
It's the scapula and clavicle.
What is scapula?
Scapula is the shoulder blade.
Yes. And clavicle is the collarbone. Yep.
And the collarbone, yes.
Yep. To speak about our rib, we have the 24 rib. Why they are 24?
Because we have 12 vertebra, thoracic vertebra,
Yep.
which are connected to two ribs on each side. I mean, one rib on each side, so it makes two, yeah?
Yes, correct. So 12 ribs on each side will make 24 total ribs. And we have the last part of the rib, 2 on each side, which are floating ribs. But are they completely floating?
Semi-floating, yeah?
So semi-floating ribs, yeah, are being present 4 semi-floating ribs, not completely floating in our body. Now, apart from that, what else we need to see about our pelvis? To speak about the pelvic girdle, which connects our legs to the axial skeleton, this is one of the most important part in our body where we need to focus more when you will do your asana practice. Any practice is asana. Asana is how we define in philosophy. Theorem Sukham Asanam, that is a stable and a comfortable pose. But even if you, or even if we all people need to sit in a stable and comfortable pose, if our pelvic is not arranged correctly or properly, or the hips are not being squared, then what will happen? We cannot be able to sit even for 5 minutes in a stable and comfortable pose. That means even in meditation, we cannot even help us. So to work on the posture of our body, the alignment of our body, first is to work on the pelvic, then the back and spine in the field of yoga. That means in the field of our life. Yoga is not a bookish study. This is just to live a happy life. If we want to live a happy life throughout or for the permanent period of time, one thing we need to always remember, practicing yoga will not make our life happy, but keeping our lifestyle without any desires and without any ego is also much a responsible factor. Even if we practice yoga for years and years, 10, 20, 30, 40, my mom practicing last 50 years is my yoga teacher, my yoga guru. But after, even if with that practice, the desire and ego is much more in our body, in our subtle body, then this yoga will not make us happy or keep us happy for permanent period of time. This is just a temporary period of happiness. So always remember with our mind, simple things in this short period of time I can tell you is just to control on our desires and ego in our life to live a happiest form of the life permanently. And you can practice yoga as well. So yoga is not only this practice what we teach actually. So what we apply here in each and every regions, different regions of India or outside. There are many mantras, many tantras, many rituals, each and every morning rituals, evening rituals, many prayers before eating, before bathing. There are many things here. Everything is yoga. Not we do speech. Here is differently in the teacher training based on the syllabus given by the Yoga Alliance. But honestly, even the Yoga Alliance wouldn't even know that how many rituals are being present here in our land. That is another thing. Even if we tell the Yoga Alliance that what is yoga, they will answer you according to some bookish study that we are teaching. But yoga in general life is completely much more than we practice, much deep to live a happy life. And according to yoga, we need to also follow the healthy lifestyle, and healthy lifestyle is being followed by the Ayurveda or Ayurveda. So these Ayurveda and yoga, this practice combined together will make our lifestyle healthy and happy. For example, if the person is healthy, the person is always happy. This thing you need to write down as an affirmation. If we are healthy, we are always happy. The rest of the desires, the mobile phones, internet connection, or the rest of the things, we clothes, the brand, we don't need. Only if we are healthy, we are happy. That is what we need to remember in our life, because nothing lasts permanently. We don't take all these things with us at the end. This is just a temporary form of the happiness. What is permanent form? Our health, healthy lifestyle. So this thing only need to remember. Try not to keep any desire or any ego, where if we keep these desires and ego, we will just get a small period of happiness that we call it as pleasure. We call it as a temporary form of happiness. But if we found that happiness in this pleasure and temporary period, afterwards we get hurt more emotionally, psychologically, that we don't realize when we enjoy that particular short period of happiness in our life. For a long-term goal, health is an only important parameter where we need to focus. That means what we need to eat, when we should sleep, and at what time we should eat. At least these things if we follow according to Ayurveda, that's it. It's enough for us. And simultaneously, side by side, if you practice at least 1 hour of yoga every day, enough to live a healthy and happy lifestyle. And in our general, around the people, as a practitioner, we don't need to focus much on the society here about what they speak about us or what they think about us or what they will. So try to ignore whatever the bad things or the comments will be going to happen on us. It does not happen if we are good. It only happens to the people if we have some faults. If we are good and if we don't care about these things, then we live a healthy lifestyle. If we are only judgmental, then the people will definitely judge us. But if we can keep ourselves non-judgmental, then we will not even think about the rest, what they. So here we can also live a healthy and happy lifestyle. Some things I will say: be the person who you are at the moment. Live a life in a present. Consistent practice of yoga is must. That means I am not only saying asana, I am speaking asana, pranayama, meditation, and cleansing technique if you know some nasal cleansing to keep away from some kind of viruses around us. Viruses are not only present in the air, but also in the humans we find some more viruses. So try to keep them away as well and try to live a healthy lifestyle. Choose some good people around you
Yeah.
and live in a good society. The mentality, I mean, not in the society of the people, it's varying or it may be different. For me, I know a lot of people, but it doesn't matter. Good people, bad people, worst people. Okay, they say each other, but all of them love the same, respect the same for me. As I love these bad, worst, horrible, terrible, best people, in the same way, we need to love each and everyone equally. If we will love them equally, they will love and respect us all equally. So try not to hate anyone in the life. Try to provide unconditional love, equal form of the love to each and everyone in our life. So these all things also counts, not only this study or the bookish manual study will count as a teacher. So to be the best teacher, we need to apply these things in our life. And one thing we should remember that age is just a number. So it doesn't matter when we as a teacher can teach at the age of 40, 50, 60, or as a teacher, we can be also 10 years, 15 years, 5 years old kid can also give us a many lessons in our life. So never judge anyone on the age as well. Many things here we can learn from a small child or from a very well matured person in our life. All the things try to practice, and if you have an aim to teach in your life, go through your self-study, or if you want to just live a healthy lifestyle, again go through your own self realization and follow things regularly. Anything you want to ask, you can say some things about what you learn or have you enjoyed learning.
Yes, I have enjoyed a lot. I think everything what you have just told is very important, but it's not so easy to achieve in one moment. It's like the way, it's like the path through life.
Yeah.
But it's doable as if you are consistent, as you say. Yeah.
And to ask you, like, you started the practice long time back or just
Three,
couple?
3 years. 3 years ago, I've started yoga, but only
Okay.
the exercise, only asanas,
Okay.
nothing else.
So asanas and exercise was the first approach for you. That means it was yoga.
Yes.
But now I have told you like it is not only asana, pranayama, meditation, and cleansing techniques. It is much more rituals, many things
Yes.
from the Vedas, which you will know, Rig Veda, Yajurveda, many. So where the yogic text, first yogic text, where many different things with yoga here.
I can imagine, yeah.
And each and every teacher is in a different style, in a different way, because we live in a different place. We are from different place. Everyone. Someone is from northern side, someone is from east, someone is from west, someone is from the south of India. So again, we have different applications of that.
I think it would be very good, if when the pandemic ends, to come and to experience, because it's completely different type of learning, yeah, online and on site, yeah.
Yeah, much more different. Here we have to finish it everything in 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't think even Lord Shiva can teach you yoga in 45 minutes. It's not possible in 45 to cover, but still we have learned many things in our course from my side as well, yoga anatomy. I think much more than the syllabus we have covered. even if the people you have joined after 10 days. But for the people who will watch the recording, they will understand the things, how many we have covered in this short period. We will see again in the October, hopefully,
Yes.
according to the management. And till then, keep practicing, keep shining, keep smiling, Nagla, and see
Thank you
you.
very
We'll
much.
chant one last poem for this batch of September. So keeping our eyes closed, back and spine straight, chant Om one time, followed by Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much, and see you soon. Hari Om.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed the course with you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.